Hey guys, all right, we're back at another video. I tried live streaming. Thank you all so much for the few people that were able to chime in, but my software is just not cooperating with me today. But I will be doing videos like this regarding today's free agency and trades that we'll see, more significant ones in my opinion at least. And it starts with Henrik Lundqvist, the King. As a Rangers fan, you know how this feels for me. I was originally polling to see Hank go in the Western Conference, but it makes perfect sense why he's going to the Capitals here at a one-year deal of 1.5 mil. Hank is in this win-now stage. He's still trying to win a cup. He's not done playing yet, and the Capitals have a very strong chance at having a deep run again next year. Now, while they may be one of the older teams in the NHL, and yes, they didn't have a great postseason this past year, not even getting out of that qualifying round, nonetheless, I think bringing Hank in is going to really bring up the likes of the people in the locker room and that roster. Alexander Ovechkin and Henrik Lundqvist are going to play together for the first time in their careers. That's crazy. But you look at Hank, given his situation, he doesn't need to leave New York per se. He can still have his family there while playing in DC now. I think that was a heavier factor in not going far as well. The Caps losing Braden Holtby, which is smart on their end, in my opinion, did not commit to him long term, because Holtby will get a big contract wherever he signs with, and I'll have a video on that whenever it does happen. So I love this move for the Capitals. I'm going to be polling for the Caps when it comes to Hank this year, regardless of the fact that I am a Rangers fan. I'm a Hank diehard through and through. Whoever he was going to, even if it was, say, a bigger rival for the Rangers like the Islanders or the Flyers, I would still be rooting for Hank nonetheless. So I hope to go to some games this year in DC or in New York if fans are attending to see Hank especially. But great move for the Capitals. I love this for them. They are going to really see what it's like to have the King himself. And while he may be towards the end of his career now, at the age of 38, he's still going to give you your all every single night he is out there. And now he's going to bring some veteran leadership and youth, not just for the youth in this locker room, and for Ilya Samsonov, who's really the next big thing for the Capitals in goaltending. I'm a huge fan of his. I love his game a lot, and it was unfortunate to see him have that kind of injury he did not play in the qualifying round for the Capitals this past year. But nonetheless, he's going to be the starter for the future for the Capitals, and Hank is going to help them tremendously with being that 1A, 1B tandem. Even if it's just for 1 year, it's crazy to see Hank on the other side of going with Alexander Ovechkin, not being scored on this time. It's just so bizarre because they battle through and through. As a Rangers fan, I've been here for all the matchups between the Caps and the Rangers in the playoffs over the past 10 to 15 years. So it is absolutely absurd to see the situation now where these two are aligning. It is just, I can't even put it into words. But Hank, we all know this past season, 30 games played, had 10 goals, had 10 wins, 12 losses, 3 overtime losses, a goals allowed average of 3.16, and a save percentage of 905. These were some of the worst numbers in his career, but take into account his situation with the Rangers really being uncertain when he would even be in the lineup, with them having Georgiev and then ultimately the heir apparent and Igor Shesterkin being the number one now. And then if you look at last season for him, he had 18 wins, 23 losses, and 10 overtime losses, a goals allowed average of 3.07, and a save percentage of 907. So the Caps, they only have 3.5 mil left in their cap space, so I'm interested to see if they do anything else significant this offseason. But this was a huge signing for them. Caps fans, I'm sure you're ecstatic about this, to have Hank on your side for once, and I don't blame you. Hank is, I can't even put into words to describe the man. I did a long video explaining my thoughts on him. I love Hank. I always will. He'll always be close to me in my heart. He's the reason why I'm talking to you guys today. He's the reason why I'm not just a Rangers fan, but a hockey fan overall. It was all stemming from the likes of Hank. So I can't wait to see him play next season. It's going to be insane to see Lafreniere on one side, the next face of the New York Rangers, versus Hank, who arguably could steal a lot of games for the Caps this year. And if the Caps have a deep playoff run, hopefully for Hank's sake they do, especially, we may see a situation where the Caps and the Rangers go in the playoffs this upcoming season. Hank against the Rangers, oh my God, I can't even wrap my head around it. I'm always going to be upset seeing Hank, especially in a separate uniform, let alone a Rangers rival. But I'm always going to support him through and through. I'm not too fazed by this. It's just going to be bizarre to see it happen. But I know Caps fans, they're ecstatic about this, rightfully so. You get Hank for at least a year. He's trying to win a cup. And I really, really pray for the Caps' sake that they can try to make his dream come to fruition before he reaches his retirement. But that's going to conclude this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Rangers fans, plenty of them on the channel. You guys, I'm curious to see what your reaction is to this. We all knew this was coming over the past week from all the reports we've seen. And when it comes to Capitals fans, let me know your thoughts. How excited are you to see Hank not finally, but actually in a red sweater this time for the Washington Capitals? It's just so bizarre. I think of all these matchups between these two teams over the past decade in the playoffs. Hank stonewalling Ovechkin in so many scenarios, and Ovechkin getting the better end of Hank and others. They've had great battles over this past decade. Is a huge reason why I'm avid hockey fan today. It's just bizarre. It's just bizarre. That's the best way to put it. But nonetheless, I'm happy for Hank. I wish him nothing but the best. I'm going to be rooting for him every step of the way next season with the Capitals. But that's going to conclude this video, guys. Thank you all again. Comment down below. Make sure to stay tuned for upcoming videos. Check out my previous videos on Paul Stastny being dealt and my draft recap with Statboy Season. We went an hour-long recapping the 2020 NHL draft. It was so much fun. We broke down the winners and losers, among other things, and did a compare and contrast of our latest mock drafts and seeing how we did in that first round especially. So make sure to check it out if you're interested. But thank you all so much, guys. I'll be up with more videos very shortly, and I'll see you guys real soon.